You know, there's a lot of talk these days about building walls. But what about boundaries? Are walls and boundaries even the same thing? Do you know? Do you know what a healthy boundary is? Do you know how it differs from a wall? Or should we have no boundaries at all? And do you even know how to set them? You know, Doctors Cloud and Townsend have written multiple books that I highly recommend that talk about boundaries. And I do use their books in my trauma recovery coaching. But they remind us that healthy boundaries are a sign of deep love. Really? It's true. But you know, when you are wounded and you have unresolved pain in your heart and mind, you're not able to set healthy boundaries. And that can be disastrous for your marriage. A boundary is kind of like this fence. It's an invisible fence that helps you define your emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. Often we don't even realize that we have boundaries or they've been trampled on until something happens. Good boundaries define who you are. They draw a distinct line between where you end and the other person begins. And that boundary gives you the freedom to act according to your principles and beliefs, independent of the other person. And that's the key, being independent of the other person. When you're married, at least I had this misconception, you may not have had it, but I had the misconception that we needed to agree on everything. And that the line between where my spouse began and where I ended was really blurred. But you know, that's not true. And this was a huge recovery point in my marriage. I had to learn to establish healthy boundaries to build trust. A marriage that is built on lies and unhealthy boundaries is ripe for betrayal and collapse. And that's where I was. But I didn't understand it until the marriage collapsed. Setting boundaries has improved our day-to-day life, and it's added up to better months and years. The boundaries moved us from living in chronic pain to choosing short-term acute pain to resolve the issue and move forward. All chronic pain does is allow us to fester the issue. It just sweeps it away. It doesn't deal with it. And eventually, those lies, those betrayals from that chronic pain will push you farther apart. And they're going to demand resolution. Acute pain means that you face the issue head on so that you both mature and grow toward each other. There are 3 disastrous outcomes that come from these betrayal and this chronic pain. And those are broken trust, fear and anxiety, and distance. Today I'm only going to talk about broken trust that results from betrayal, because betrayal does destroy our trust. When our kids were growing up, we described the trust account this way. When you deposit funds, which are truthful interactions and honesty, into the bank account, which is your relationship, you often have to make some small withdrawals because you've told a lie or you've made some mistakes, but it was unintentional, it was not planned. But when you betray that relationship through addiction, abuse, or habitual lying, you end up immediately withdrawing all the funds. In fact, sometimes you end up in a deficit. When Dave revealed his pornography addiction, it annihilated that trust in the bank account. But on the flip side, I was hiding my true self, and that destroyed Dave's trust for me. We were both bankrupt emotionally and mentally, and it ruined our relationship. Now, learning to set boundaries has not been an easy or clean process. We still have to work every day to build healthy boundaries because life is messy. But now we both know that working through the mess instead of ignoring it or sweeping it away like we did in the past creates deeper intimacy in our marriage. If you need help working through some of these issues or defining them, please reach out. I've been there. And I can offer you some solutions through my trauma recovery program that will help you tackle the tough stuff. Now, it's not going to be neat or pretty, but it will result in peace, confidence, and hope for your future. It's simple to do that. You can email me at kirstendsamuel.com. That's Kirsten is spelled Kirstend, as in Diane, and Samuel, Samuel, no S on the end, .com. Or just send me a direct message. I would love to talk to you. Have a great day.